Send your kids to campus safely. Defunding the police. Back in 2020, we were talking here. Reverend Al, let me bring you in here on defunding the police. You and I were talking about how representatives in the toughest parts of New York City, in real time, were saying, defund the police. No, no. We need more police on the street protecting our children as we walk to school. We need more children in the classroom. You know, in the classrooms, more police officers, safety officers, so our children can go to and from class, so our businesses can be safe, so we can live a safe life. And it's something, again, you have a great line about wokeness and limousine liberals and everything. But I just wanted to say this is what we've known since 2017 and what you and I have talked about. That white elitists that run the Democratic Party are far to the left of many black and Hispanic voters in the Democratic Party. And I remember a pollster for Barack Obama, I think his name is David Sachs, forgive me for, came out and had that poll in 2017, and he got absolutely hammered on Twitter. Absolutely hammered by the far left. How dare you say this? How dare you? But he was right. And it was true in 17, and it was doubly true in 2024 that these white progressives on the far left said, we're going to save you, black and Hispanic people of America. A lot of black and Hispanic people of America say, no thanks. You're kind of wild. You're too far left. We believe in the American dream. We want to be part of the American dream. Thanks, but no thanks. Keep that in your college classes.
I don't want to make a long video this time. I just wanted to highlight something. You know it's bad when Hollywood admits it. Michael Douglas admits Republicans under Trump are now party of the people while Democrats are elitist. And you saw from the intro, you saw Joe Scarborough kind of lambasting cultural liberalism, white elitism in the Democratic Party, right? Mainstream media see their thing going down the drain. But I want to show, like, transgenderism is normal, seems to undercut the transgender ideology. Michael Knowles' response to a transgender activist, and is exactly as portrayed. White, right? Liberal, elitist, probably can afford to think like this. But people like me who came up from the hood, who came up from, like, lower income areas, we don't drive with this stuff. And this is what Joe Scarborough admitted on the intro that I just showed you. Right? And if you still don't believe me, I got a clip coming up right now with Shermichael, right? The conservative, black conservative, right? And he just said that, hey, we don't agree with boys playing with girls. And this white liberal, I think he's Jewish, apparently. I saw something about him being associated with Jewish university something. You're going to see him lecture and go on this long-ass spew about how, oh, this is so condescending, but this is reality. This is reality. Like, you have XY chromosomes. You can't be playing with XX chromosomes people, bro. You have an unfair advantage, bro. Talking about there's no consensus. Like, this is the Democratic Party. This is who the Democratic Party speaks to. And they expect, and then they gonna think, oh no, it's not us. We have a separation. No, you don't. Liberals are permissive of this stuff. Liberals are not critical of their own side. Therefore, this is what allowed the far left to take over the messaging of the Democratic Party, and you jelly-spined liberals just went along with it until you had some results to back you up. Now y'all want to push back after y'all lost. But before that, y'all saw the train coming, but y'all didn't stop it until it actually hit you. Then you want to be like, look what you done to my leg. You want to blame the progressive, but you saw it coming, right, Joe Scarborough? 2017, this stuff came out, and you didn't say nothing. You didn't push back against this stuff. Maybe you did, but there was no convictions from liberals. And this is what I'm talking about. Liberals are very good critics, but they're sorry. They're not as effective at defending their ideas. That's one thing I noticed about liberals growing up. But I digress. Let's check out the clip that I wanted to highlight in this video.
I think there are a lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
They're not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. I am not going to listen to you call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur, I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls softball. I'm not going to sit there and listen to that.
Let's reset for a second because, look, this is a really heated issue, right? And Michael, I know you. I know that you understand that people have different views on this. I think out of respect for Jay, like, let's try to talk about this in a way that is respectful.
Okay, so let me rephrase this since I'm being targeted here.
I don't think you're not, just to be clear, you are not being targeted.
I am, but it's okay.
I'm specifically saying that I know that you are not intending to be transphobic.
He should know that I'm not. But he wants to sit here and
calling you transphobic. I'm saying you're using a phrase that you know.
So the way regular people interpret it,
that's not regular people. That's not regular people. There's no consensus that these are actually boys. This whole thing about trans girls is a canard. We're talking about a tiny, tiny sliver of the population.
That may be the
and we're using that
but my point in terms of its effectiveness.
Just get to your point.
My point in terms of its effectiveness. Regular people with children look at these things and they say, you know what, this is a bit too far. I do not agree with this. I don't like this. I think Democrats are going way too much to the left on social issues. They're uncomfortable with it. A lot of people believe that. A lot of families believe that. You may disagree with that reality, but that's why Republicans kept running those ads over and over and over again, because they saw the metrics suggested that they were working.
In those ads over and over again and using rhetoric like you just used, saying this is boys playing girls sports. First of all, we're talking about 5 people in the entire country.
You would prefer?
We're talking about trans girls being allowed to play with the people who are in their gender. And if you don't believe, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to the American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association.
The American Medical Association.
This is not about the issue,
Guys,
right?
just
This is about trying.
So as you can see, college, right? This is the college educated vote, right? I just did a video on Jen Psaki, right? This is the college educated woman. This is who the Democratic Party is messaging to, and this is what a lot of them believe in this stuff. And this is why I'm saying the Democrats and the left, they weaponize your empathy to essentially gaslight you to go along with stuff that is not real in reality, right? Imagination. Oh, I want you to go against you have to go with my imagination or else you offended me. I accuse you of bigotry because you're not going along with my self-delusion of myself. Even though if you see the signs, there's no common consensus. I don't care about no damn consensus. I care about what you can prove. You can't prove to me a man can become a woman. You haven't done that. You can't do that. Just because you castrate a man and you say, look, I inverted his you-know-what into a you-know-what, and now he's somehow a female, you're lying. It don't matter how much cosmetic surgery you do on an individual, he can never be truly a woman. That's the argument. That is the consensus. But this dude sitting here and pretending like DNA don't exist. Chromosomes don't exist. Like what they teaching in college? And you wonder why people links up educated with indoctrinated. You're not an educated person. You're an indoctrinated person. You've been indoctrinated in a religion called transgenderism. And this is why it should not be taught in schools. Because if you don't want us to pray in schools, if you don't want the Bibles to be taught in schools, why the hell are you teaching this crap called transgender ideology into classrooms? And you wonder why only college-educated people believe in this junk. You wonder why only atheists, at a large percentage, believe in this stuff. And this is the bubble. This is the bubble I'm highlighting. This is the ilk of Jen Psaki. But they're trying to do soul searching. In reality, they're just trying to find scapegoats to blame something else other than themselves. But I digress.
Transgender people are normal. They eat, they sleep, they shit, they love, they are heartbroken. They volunteer.
See, you're not saying anything truthful, right? Like it's true in a sense, but the purpose was not to inform anybody or convince anybody. The purpose of it was to just highlight, look how tolerant, look how good I am. And to me, as a non-Democrat, that's very self-serving of you. It's self-aggrandizement. That's why I'm saying there should be a study with narcissism and liberalism. Like there has to be some association. There's no way you're sitting here blatantly and you see all the that's probably a white woman screaming in the back like that. They just feel so happy about this. I don't know why. Virtue signaling really it gets white liberal women going. I don't know what it is about that. I think it's a form of narcissism, a way of self-congratulating yourself. Like you love praise, so you do things that get you praise. And this is kind of how I think white liberal women in the education system has been kind of conditioned to seek the carrot, right? Carrot on a stick. This is their carrot on a stick. Oh, I'm so much better than all of you guys because I recognize the existence of trans people. Recognizing the existence of trans people is different from a conservative than it is for a liberal. Existence of how a conservative recognize trans people is there's people who is delusional who think they can become another gender, while you saying these people say they're a woman, then therefore they are a woman. If they categorize themselves as a woman, it don't matter if they got a beard bigger than mine. It don't matter if they got burling muscles. It don't matter if they got a deeper voice than me. I'm supposed to believe he's a woman. Okay.
Volunteer in our community. They have jobs. They're really cool. I think it's pretty unfortunate the way social media and fake news makes us think they're something that they're not. But there's a lot of really awesome transgender people in our community, and I would encourage you to.
Your perception isn't reality. That's the takeaway. If you don't get nothing from this video, that's the summary that conservative. That's the most like 5-year-old. If I was explaining to my 5-year-old, my son's not 5, but if I was explaining to my son about reality, I said your reality doesn't follow your perception. Perception is an expectation. Perception is a framing like, hey, I believe I'm the best soccer player in the world, and the reality shows you're not the best soccer player in the world because you lose games, you lose the dribble. Like reality is going to show you, okay, a perception is like a theory. Hey, I see the world this way. Let's see if the reality validates the feedback that I'm getting back validates what I perceive. It doesn't. Therefore, your theory is wrong. I believe I'm a woman. Your theory is wrong. You have to do things that normal women don't have to do. You don't go through periods like normal women do. You have to fake it. That means you have to cognitively do that. You can't get pregnant. And yes, I know women, biological women, there's a health condition that they suffer from that prevents them from getting pregnant. But you know that they're suffering from a health condition. When a man can't get pregnant, it's called just being a man. And this is the reality that these trans people don't want to acknowledge. People are like, yo, since the dawn of humankind, it's been this way. What new information do you have that tells you that you can become a woman? Nothing but comfort. Nothing but first world problems. Nothing but I want to control your perception. Don't believe your lying eyes. Believe what we tell you. This man here is a woman. It's like what the communists used to do in Cuba. They'll put on the wall 2 + 2 is 5. The point of you saying 2 + 2 is 5 is not because they found some new mathematical formula that says that 2 + 2 is 5. The point of making you say 2 + 2 is 5 is to show how submissive you are to the regime, to the party lines. How in line you are with the party. If the party says something is true, you must believe it's true. It's a way to confirm their power over you, their rule over you. And this is why I'm saying that transgenderism, and I think there's some studies that suggest this, that transgenderism is highly associated with other mental disorders, such as narcissism. So if I don't want to confirm a narcissist way of how they see things, I'm a bad guy now. And this is what we're talking about. America is tired of being held hostage. This is why we talk about the party of the elite. And in some form or fashion, white liberal women, y'all seem to be playing the same kind of game that the trans women are trying to do. And you can translate trans women into fake women. That's trans for conservatives is fake. So when we say trans woman, we're saying fake woman, right? Because end of the day, that's our perception, right? They believe in moral relativism until it comes to stuff they care about. They care about, everyone has a truth. That's my truth. But when the conservatives go, the truth, my truth is the truth. Like my truth follows the truth. And the truth is you're not a woman. All of a sudden you're offended by that. But if a black person say, white people cannot understand my interests because they're white. And then you got these same black people who are saying that, they don't believe in this trans ideological stuff. Now, this is where you get the white liberal trying to, gaslight the black liberals into following along that stuff. And they do. They follow along with their white liberal counterparts on this stuff. but to a lesser degree. They're not so open about it. And that just shows you the difference between the minority groups, and they wonder why they lost the election. I digress, though. Let the lady continue her delusion.
Enjoy their art, talk to them, get to know them. Maybe it takes a little getting used to because we're indoctrinated to think certain things.
Indoctrination, wow, the irony.
But you are smart and you have a heart and you can get used to it. So thank you.
What do you...
See, she wasn't here to debate. She was just here to, hey, look at me. Look at me. She just wanted attention. This is what I'm saying. There has to be a study. Someone got, hey, if you're a scientist, watch this. You're a psychologist, watch this. Do a study on this. Liberalism and the correlation with narcissism. I will reckon it is very high. Maybe a 6. I'll give it a 6. 6, I forgot the terms. A 6 correlation point. I at least, because this is craziness. She just wanted attention. She came out here, oh, look, all eyes are on me. I can't stand this such, oh my God. No wonder white liberal women dominate TikTok. Because they love attention. And they'll do anything for it. And they created a indoctrination structure where you get more attention the more in line with the doctrine you are. And she talks about indoctrination, how rich is coming from this girl. But I digress.
Just if you know, okay. I guess my question, if anybody wants to answer it, is, what do you mean by normal? I guess that's the real question. To say transgenderism is normal seems to undercut the transgender ideology. Because if you look like you're a man and then you go in, as maybe say at a young age encouraged by your teachers, and you're told that you have to have invasive surgical procedures to castrate yourself, to remove parts of your body, to advance bone disease, to increase your likelihood of anxiety and stress and suicidality, that seems extraordinary. That seems at the very least like something that we would call abnormal.
How's that? Exactly. Like, how is that normal? You're interfering with the natural process of your body to claim to be something else. You're saying that you're born in the wrong body, yet your body is a male body. And you essentially are trying to force your perception on the reality of who you are. I'm trying to change reality and say I'm a woman. So I'm going to do something to I'm going to shave down my Adam's apple. I'm going to cut off my you-know-what. Right? I'm going to take hormones that's usually for women that my body doesn't naturally produce, but you're intervening. This is cosmetic surgery at best. It's like a woman who's born with with little breast, no butt, and then she goes to get a BBL. We all know, okay, you interfere with your natural process of your body. That's not normal for your body. But for some reason, you try to play the same logic with this transgender issue, and these people are getting offended. Make it make sense. I digress.
So I just wonder what is even meant by that. Furthermore, I guess I would ask, what is even meant by a transgender person? My argument, and the argument of conservatives, as far as I can tell, is not that transgender people are bad. It's that there is no such thing as a transgender person, because transgenderism is a false anthropology that gets a fundamental aspect of human nature wrong. Transgenderism says that one's body has nothing to do with one's identity. This is a novel idea. No people have ever really believed this for human history.
Until 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago. Like, it makes sense. Your idea only existed for 5 years, yet you're sitting back and trying to say, yo, you have to explain to me why trans people don't exist. No, you have to make the argument why trans people do exist. Because of the fact that all of human history, we thought this way. If you bring in an innovative idea, it's on you to pitch it. It's on you to persuade the masses, not the masses to justify why they believe in something that's been around since the dawn of human time, a concept that's been around since the dawn of human time. Like, make it make sense. And then when we question it, you run away, because the whole point was to show your allegiance to those at power, to show your class, look, I'm an elite, because only elitists believe this crap.
And there doesn't seem to be much evidence for it. So I guess the question that I would raise is, on what basis are we now all to throw out our previous beliefs? Biology, anthropology,
exactly.
Philosophy, all traditional religion. On what basis are we to be demanded that we throw all of that out the window?
It's for submission. That's it. Submit to the ideology. Submit to your betters. We're an elite, right? This is how college-educated people, especially white liberal women, think. We are the moral barometer, and we say that this is true, and we require you to submit. This is one of the reasons why they go through the empathy route. Oh, you got to acknowledge that they exist. You got to do this, and you have to be respectful, as you saw from the clip when Michael just said, yeah, these are boys playing women's sports. They're not boys. It's a way for them to be morally angry, right? They're creating a whole new moral structure. This one thing I always point out to atheists, because atheists, believe it or not, actually believe it. A large percentages of atheists believe that men can be women, while 10%, I think it's less than 5% of people of religious people believe that men can be women. So how is it that atheists who pride themselves about being the more scientifically driven one believe in something that is falsifiable, but they want to make fun of Christians for believing in something that's unfalsifiable? Make sense, atheists. And then when on this channel, when I say that atheism is a belief system, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are creating a semblance of a religion, not based on God, but a kind of based on yourself, that you are a God, like you define reality, when that's not the case. God really means the one who defines reality. That's what God really means, in my view anyway, right? In the Bible, they say God is the truth, the light, and the way. So I'm like, okay, if I'm seeking the truth, metaphorically, I'm seeking God, right? But atheists, it don't seem like they're doing that. What atheists try to do is they try to change perception. They try to govern perception because they believe perception is reality. False premise. Oh, because I can't perceive God means God doesn't exist. Okay, can you perceive the universe? Doesn't mean the universe doesn't exist. No. You know the universe exists even though you have not seen it with your own eyes because you believe some subject matter expert, right? You believe other things. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the trans issue. That y'all want to complain about, religious people are so delusional. And then I point out to your delusion. I'm going to look at what you do. You look at what you're delusional about. You're delusional about something that's actually falsifiable. I can actually prove someone's not a woman. You can't prove God doesn't exist. So if I say, hey, I have faith in something, what makes more logical sense to have faith in something? Something that can't be disproven or something that can be proven? That's what atheists are doing. Look at the stats. A large majority of atheists believe that transgenderism, women can be men and men can be women. Atheists, the so-called scientific. Oh yeah, but when I call them out as a belief system, they want to get mad. Because at the end of the day, atheism is a religion that worships power. Whoever's in power, that's who the atheists worship. If the person in power says that men can be women, they'll say yes, sir. If the people in power say that 2 + 2 is 5, the atheists will say yes, sir. Because at the end of the day, atheism is based on what? Materialism. They chase pleasure, avoid pain. If those in power can give you a lot of pleasure by going along with them, atheists will agree. If those in power will revoke a harsh punishment on those who go against them, atheists will avoid that pain. Yes, I'm inadvertently calling atheists cowards culturally. Yes. But that's the reality, right? That's it. That's the reality of atheism. You chase pleasure, you avoid pain. So that means what that means, you worship power. The Bible makes an interesting premise, a philosophical premise, and it seems to be true because philosophy, I think, is about human nature, not necessarily about explaining the world. It's explaining human beings' behavior. And I believe faith is a part of human nature, but that's just a part of me. That's just my little theory. This is probably someone that already had this idea. But I think faith is an ingrained, inherent part of human nature, that humans have to believe in something. And it seems like atheists take the route of, okay, I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to believe in my own perception, even though I've been here for like 30 seconds compared to the rest of the world. This world exists for billions of years, yet I think I know what exists and doesn't exist. To me, is that's not... You're not humble. That's all I'm gonna say. That's a nice thing I'm gonna say.
And believe that a man could really become a woman and that it is positively good to castrate a little boy. I don't really see that. On what basis are we told that we have to accept the view that a little girl should be forced to change in a public pool dressing room in front of a giant hairy man who pretends to be a woman? On what basis are we to be forced to believe that women are not entitled to their own sports leagues, that women are not entitled to their own spaces, that women are not entitled to any of the rights that they've fought for or have been granted naturally? It all sounds well and good when you say, be nice to the poor transgender people, but nobody's suggesting being cruel to anyone. We're asking what it even means to be transgender. And I think it's very telling that the young woman who made her emotional plea against all of the conservatives, those mean conservatives who believe what everyone else has believed about human beings for all of history, I think it's very telling that she ran away before she could answer any of those questions, because there's no answer, there's no basis for it, and the legitimate rights of people are being destroyed because of an ideology that doesn't help anybody.
Exactly. And this is what causes exclusion, right? If a group of people come into a neighborhood and they're causing a lot of ruckus, they're not pleasant to be around, they're not jiving well with the community that's already existed before they came, you're creating friction. The problem is to remove that person out of the community or out of the village because they're so disruptive in the fabric of the society. And this is what trans people effectively has become. They come in and then society is like, hey, this is what we believe. We believe you're not what you say you are. And they say, no, we want to force all of society. And they get close to those in power, and those in power try to push it from the top down, force these values onto the people. And then when the people revolt, elect Donald Trump, punish the Democratic parties for going along with this cultural leftism. They want to blame the cultural leftism, but they're the ones that let themselves get taken by it. This is why I blame liberals for this stuff, because liberals don't criticize their own side. They're tribal by nature. They allow these people to come into their tribe, right? Because they're oh, look at us, we're so good guys, we're fighting for the little guy, right? And then the little guy end up being the bully. These people, bro, I swear, gaslighting is all they really have, right? When they lose when they don't have the emotional appeal, they just crumble and fall apart. That's one thing I noticed about many people on the left. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you agree that the transgender issue? Because a lot of people are saying, like, as Sir Michael pointed out, Trump ran ads about transgenderism heavily, and it seemed to be the most effective political ad that he had in his arsenal. And that speaks to the fact that many Americans reject transgenderism. And I think that if the Democratic Party does not touch grass, so to say, real soon, I think they can have the same effect in 2028. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would be interested to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.